Hello and happy holidays. Merry Christmas. It is Christmas Eve at the time of this live and this recording right now. And I'm so excited to share this with you today. We are going to be talking about creating holiday magic while not getting crazy overwhelmed with the mom guilt and everything, the overwhelm that comes with probably maybe the expectations being super high or just a lot of stress on us. We have a lot of things to do. We have a lot of things to think about. We have family and everything else, and we don't want to have ourselves get crazy and overwhelmed and stressed, and then we take that out on our families. It happens all the time. I know it happens to me, especially when we're traveling somewhere. I don't know if you're traveling for the holidays, but when we're getting ready to travel somewhere, I'm like hyper task oriented. And sometimes I forget to be a real human being and remember what everybody else is feeling. And so we can be snappy, and that's actually undoing the holiday magic that we're trying to create. So, what I want to give you today is just a few things to think about. Actually, four different things to think about, four different ways that we can still create holiday magic because we want to. It's a special time. We want to serve our families, especially moms. We love to serve our families and create this magical experience for our kids and our extended family even, but that can come with a lot of stress. So I'm going to give you a few things to think about, a few ways that you can take that stress level down and we can reevaluate what really creates the magic. We don't want to undo everything with being overwhelmed and stressed out. That's not the idea, right? So I want to give you those tips and strategies over the last probably 10 years. I've really become very realistic about what really creates magic in our family, and we have certain things that are non-negotiables and things that are our traditions now, and then things that I've let go of because it doesn't bring me joy. It's something that it has an opposite effect because of the stress of trying to make that all happen. So I want to share that with you because I want you to be calm. I want you to be peaceful. I want you to enjoy your family, and I want you to just have a a lot of connection, because that's really important for the holidays. And I know you want that too, right? But let's face it, we have a lot of stress coming from the outside world, coming from Pinteresty kind of things. Look at my tree, look at my this, look at our holiday decorations, look at our all these things. And we want that because we love to create beauty, us moms, and we love everything to be in its place and beautiful and all that stuff. Let's take a realistic look at not necessarily that that can't happen, but what's important, and if that brings joy to everyone and allows you to connect with your family. Okay, I'm not saying don't do it. You guys that are super Pinteresty, you are honestly my like heroes. I don't even know how you do it. My sister is kind of like that. She definitely creates these magical moments all the time, but I have seen her get really overwhelmed by it too. So we only have 24 hours in a day, and we only have enough time to be able to do certain things. So we want to make sure that we also, as in the Freedom Scholar and the Raising Leaders Roadmap, we talk about leaving space, the freedom from. And the freedom from busyness is also something that allows us to have a high level of learning and to connect together as a family, which is super important. So when you have a time and a place where you are just like there's downtime, that's super important as well. So let's talk about how we can actually create that for your family this holiday season. Okay, and Christmas is tomorrow. Let's just face it. Okay. So whatever you have now, if you have a lot of stress, I don't, last night I was wrapping some presents and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this now because I don't want to be up at like 1 o'clock in the morning trying to wrap presents at the last minute and trying to stuff stockings and do all the things because I've been busy all day and I've been doing stuff, and now I don't get enough sleep. And then Christmas morning, I'm a little bit tired and I'm like, yay, it's magical, but then I don't last throughout the rest of the day. Okay. So let's just think about how we can prepare and do things ahead of time, but also think about what's really important. So What I want to share with you today are four separate things, okay? Now, we all want to make sure that I do watch Hallmark movies, okay? I'm not going to lie. I like Hallmark movies. I just like to know that everything's working out and it's always going to have a happy ending. But let's face it, there's a lot of as I know you guys know, I call it the educational should when we're shoulding on ourselves about learning. Well, we can should on ourselves about holidays. And so the holidays, when we're shoulding on ourselves, is like we want everything to look all magical and Christmassy and have that garland over the fireplace. And I have garland over my fireplace, but it's not it's like tree garland. It's not like that goes on the tree, not like that looks like a tree. I wish I had that one, but I don't. So I simplify, okay? Because it still looks holiday-ish, but it's not crazy over the top. And even though I want crazy over the top because I really feel like it's beautiful and someday I'm going to get there, but it's just not in my season right now. So it is what it is. I make do with what I have. So when we're looking at all these holiday Hallmark movies and everything, we're looking at all this. Do you ever notice how they do things all the time they make cookies constantly in the Christmas movies? Constantly making cookies and they're constantly eating cookies. I'm like, if I ate that many cookies, I would definitely be putting on the pounds, that's for sure. And I have before in my life. So I know that's not what I need to do. But it's so funny because making cookies and doing all that stuff, I used to do a lot of that. And now with our dietary restrictions, I don't do that. I don't make cookies at all anymore. My mom still does, but I don't because we can't eat them. And only Kenyon's the only one that can eat them. So I mean, Eric can eat them too, but he generally doesn't. So it's usually me ending up eating everything. So I have to make sure that we're putting in place what matters to us most in our priorities. And that's the first thing that I want to share with you is what are your priorities? What really makes holiday magic? I want you to put in the comments. I want you to put and listen as you're listening to this. I want you to think about what makes holiday magic for your family? What makes holiday magic in your house? Is it all the magical decorations that look like a Hallmark movie? Is it the baking? Maybe it is for you. I love to bake actually, and I really miss it. But the baking with the kids, that's so valuable. I mean, unless it causes you stress and it freaks you out, in that case, don't do it. But it really can be magical, okay? So, what makes magic for you in your family? Is it playing games? I remember when we were growing up, my sister and I were growing up, we would all gather, the entire extended family would gather at my grandparents' house. And it was always holidays for me, like Thanksgiving, Christmas time, New Year's, all the time is football time. So there'd always be a football game playing, there's snacks, and they're not fancy snacks. They're not Pinteresty snacks. It's like a crudité platter and some crackers and cheese and some chips. Like that's pretty much. And sometimes my grandma would go and she'd make other stuff because my family's Chinese and we have a Hawaiian background. She'd make spam musubi. She'd make, some other things, some sushi or something that would be, more holidays, something a little extra special. But she wouldn't go, I mean, it wasn't over the top for sure. So think about that. And we would go outside and we live in California. So it was easy to go outside and when it wasn't raining, there were plenty of days when it was sunny, it was just a little bit chilly, but sunny, and we go outside and throw the football around with my uncles and all the family would just and get together, and it would just be a great time. It would be a great time for sharing family connection and stories and making memories there. It was so amazing. So think about what matters to you. Is it the fancy, fa- fancy, activities? Maybe you have one activity that you do that's really fancy. Maybe you go to the Nutcracker. Maybe you do Santa Train or something like that. Maybe you do more than that, but is how much of that brings you joy and how much of it actually causes more stress? Let's think about that, okay? So that's the first thing is what really brings you holiday magic. And the second thing I want you to do is I want you to talk to your family. Talk to your family and just see what really matters to you. for my husband, he knows that I'm going to make food and he's like, whatever you make is going to be great, so don't stress about it. And he literally says that. I'm so appreciative. And it for me it's helpful to know that those are the expectations, that the rest of the expectations I'm putting on myself, that it's not their expectations. And that's something that you can really be kind of disillusioned about, or I not disillusioned, but really not knowing the realistic picture of what they want, right? So what they're expecting of you. And we as moms put ourselves in such high expectations. If you actually made a list of everything, and I've done this, I encourage you to make a list of all your expectations. And this is a great thing to do for the new year. Make a list of everything you expect of yourself, like healthy meals every day, home cooked, clean house, decorations every holiday, which by the way, Christmas, we did decorate a little bit for Halloween this year, but mostly it was outside, and Christmas is the only thing we decorated for this year thus far. I'm really I'm really falling behind in that area, but and we didn't even put everything up. So thinking about what really matters, and what are the expectations your family has around what they want for the holidays, and then thinking about how you can, what are your expectations beyond that. It's okay to have our own expectations of ourselves. We just don't want to get them so far that they're actually causing us more stress, right? And taking away from the magic that really is happening. So what are everybody's expectations, and then manage your own, right? So the next thing I want to talk to you about is realistic meals. Okay, and I did say this before. I mentioned this just a minute ago, but thinking about, I have an unrealistic expectation for meals. I want to make all the sides, I want to make all the everything's special, our holiday things. I want to, and it would cause me to be cooking for 3 days, which some of you, that brings that massive joy to your family and you enjoy it too. Go for it, for sure. I'm in a different, and there have been times in my life where that did make sense. This year, it doesn't make sense for me. And it makes more sense for me to be a little more realistic. Yeah, we'll bring in a special something or other, but I'm really going to focus on what is realistic for what I can do at this point in this year, and what my family's going to be happy with, which ultimately they're going to be happy with whatever I make, and they've told me that. So ask them to. And if you're having a big family get together at your house, have a family potluck. That makes things easier for extended family. Simplify, and maybe try one new recipe instead of 10 new recipes, because that can get really stressful, especially if they're not going right, or, oh my gosh, I forgot this ingredient. Just go with it. Just go with it. Chances are your family's going to love it anyways. Let's thinking about just simplifying or being realistic about holiday meals. And like I said, if that's something that brings joy to you, have at it. Go for it. Just remember that we don't want to push it to the point of overwhelm, right? The last thing I'm going to share is about family and the rest of all the everythings, the rest of the shoulds. So the cleaning, the house prepping, the decorating, the all the things, right? Likely you've already probably decorated in this stage of Christmas being tomorrow. But if you haven't yet, or you've still got more to do, or you still have, yeah, I got to put this up at the last minute, is it really necessary? And then also think about family work. Think about family work. And what I mean by family work, and we talk a lot about this in the Inspiring Lifelong Learning Academy, in the Love of Learning Reset, is doing things together. So delegating, and actually doing things in the same room together, which actually helps us have family connection. And so, but delegating can really help us get some of that stuff off our plate, right? So sometimes I look at my best friend, and she has 4 kids, and 3 of them are boys, and they're very capable. All of her kids are super capable, and they're so independent, which is amazing. And so she has I think she started it like it was a long time ago. It was a long time before I was even thinking about having my son do any of that stuff. And she has just had, they're all about the same age. So it's kind of funny. But she's like, oh, yeah, the boys just put up the lights on the house. Oh, it's just yeah, they put it up. I don't even bother with it. I'm like, you're so amazing. I love that. And that may not be our job as a mom, maybe it is, but at least it takes it off dad's plate. It takes things off. And so kids love to do that too. So what can the kids do? This is something we talk about in the Inspire Lifelong Learning Academy in family systems and our routines too, is what can the kids do? So thinking about that and work, do family work for everything else, the cleaning, and doing it together as a family really makes it part of the magical experience and part of the connection that we're looking for. You see what I'm saying? I know that this is a great way for you to be able to take things off your plate, feel a little less stressed, still get the stuff done you need to get done while having realistic expectations for yourself. I know I go way over the top in that. And this season has really been a gift for me because I've actually gone back and gone, let's look at the priorities here, ask my family what they expect, and then take an evaluation of my own expectations. And that way, we're creating magic in the things that matter. Having that empty space, having that downtime to where our family's talking and playing and doing things together all through the holiday season, but it's on Christmas Day or whatever. That's going to be the magic sauce. That's going to be what they remember. So we can actually take the level down in our expectations, but actually create more magic. Isn't that weird? Because those are the things that cause more magic. And we can take away that idea that the potential of us getting overwhelmed and then actually taking away from the magic. So we don't want to do that. So I know that you guys are going to have a great holiday. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas. I celebrate Christmas, whatever you're celebrating. Happy holidays. And I hope that you take some time to really give yourself a good level of expectation and then create memories with your family in a way that just is through connection and makes sense and magic for you. If you like and you resonate with any of this, please share this with somebody that you know that could use it. And please subscribe and to our YouTube channel, to our Spotify, Apple, wherever you're listening to this. And it really helps us get it out there to everyone else who needs it and helps us create more awesome content. And by the way, if you're if you're enjoying this, I would love to hear what your favorite holiday memory is from this year so far. And so drop me a little note, DM me, leave a comment. Just let me know what's been most magical for you thus far and think about how the expectation was for that. So I really appreciate all and every one of you. I am so grateful to be able to do what I'm doing and to help parents in their homeschool journey. This is something that is my mission in the world, and I I'm so blessed to be able to be connected with you and to have you part of my world. So thank you so much and Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.